इस वीडियो में हम कवर करेंगे आज के न्यूज़पेपर में जो इम्पोर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स हैं उनको कवर करेंगे. सो आज टुडे इज़ 5th August and 5 years ago Article 370 was abrogated. So in newspaper articles have come regarding Jammu and Kashmir, Article 370 and what is the present situation, how long we have come and what is yet to be achieved, right? So ये जो topic है, this topic we study in your GS paper 3. The topic is internal security, right? उसमें हम पढ़ते हैं there is a topic called militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. So that is what? It is a internal security related challenge, right? That is to be addressed to ensure that there is development in the region, to ensure that there is prosperity in the region, right? So this article is talking about that Jammu and Kashmir task is not finished yet, right? So abrogating Article 370 was necessary but not sufficient condition for ending terrorism, right? So यहाँ पर आपको जब हम इस टॉपिक को पढ़ते हैं मिलिटेंसी इन जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, सो कुछ बेसिक फैक्ट्स और कुछ बेसिक चीज़ों का आइडिया होना चाहिए. जैसे आप कैसे आपको अप्रोच करना चाहिए व्हेन यू स्टडी एनी टॉपिक ऑफ इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी. तो जो भी इशू है उसका आपको हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड पता होना चाहिए. सो हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड क्या है, देन what are the challenges, क्या challenges है, what are the factors responsible for the situation, right? What are the causes that are causing this militancy, right? Then because of this disturbance उसका impact क्या है, impact on development, impact on society, right? Impact on governance, impact on security. So impact आपको पता होना चाहिए. Then what is the government doing? So government measures आपको पता होना चाहिए, right? So with respect to north east government क्या measures ले रही है to curb insurgency, with respect to जम्मू एंड कश्मीर militancy को ख़त्म करने के लिए government ने क्या क्या steps लिए, right? So ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Then you also need to suggest a way forward, right? What can we do to further improve the situation? So इस तरीके से आपको किसी भी टॉपिक को पढ़ना चाहिए, right? And then you can also talk about some best practices as a conclusion वगैरह में आप इसको यूज़ कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो अगर मैं जम्मू कश्मीर की बात करूँ, हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड की बात करें, सो जम्मू कश्मीर की अगर हम हिस्ट्री की बात करें, सो एंशंट इंडिया से अगर हम ट्रैक करें, सो कल्हन who was a 12th century Sanskrit scholar, right? So he has written a book called Rajat Rangani. So that documented history of Kashmir, right? And that documented what were the different kings of Kashmir, right? So this is Rajat Rangini by Kalhan that you study in your ancient history. But अगर उसके अलावा हम बात करें तो this region, Kashmir region, it was controlled by several dynasties, right? Ranging from Hindu dynasties to Muslim dynasties, and then there were Sikh presence in the region at a point of time, right? जहाँ पर Ranjit Singh was the famous ruler, and then we saw that during British India there were two Anglo-Sikh wars that happened, right? And then the command or the leadership went into the hands of Dogra dynasty, right? And the last Dogra ruler was Maharaja Hari Singh, right? When the India was partitioned, when partition happened, so that time Maharaja Hari Singh was the last Dogra ruler who had signed the instrument of accession with India, right? So क्या हुआ था, when India was partitioned 1947 में Kashmir that remained neutral, right? But when the Pakistani incursions happened, that time they decided to accede to India, right? And then signed the instrument of accession with India, right? And this was not liked by Pakistan, right? Because they believed that Kashmir had majority of Muslim population, right? And so they wanted Kashmir to be part of Pakistan, and that's why they always have issue with Kashmir, right? So that is the political factor if you talk about. And then India went to UN, right, where it led to passage of UN resolution of 1948, UN resolution of 1948, right? And that resolution, it accepted India's stance, right? Whatever the issues were there between India and Pakistan, so this resolution was passed. So these are some of the political and historical background related to the Kashmir issue, right? Related to the militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. Then there are several economic factors also. Whenever these kind of disturbances are there, there would always be the economic factors, right? So you should know the factors in the form of, like, there are political or historical factors related to Kashmir. Then there are economic factors. So when you talk about the economic factors, you know that unemployment is a major issue among youth, right? So whenever youth, they do not have proper educational training, and when they do not have adequate employment opportunities, then they would be disguised, right? And it would be easy to radicalize them. So economic factor, unemployment, lack of jobs, that is the major challenge in the region, right? Then the poor industrial penetration in the region. Obviously, when there would be low industrial presence in the region, the job opportunities would be less, right? Then the Pakistan issue. So Pakistan is always trying to radicalize the locals, right? They are trying to fuel militancy in the region, and Pakistan has this agency called ISI. So ISI backs that Kashmir militancy, right, and the separatist movements in the Kashmir region, right? So that they can do what? They can divert the Indian troops, Indian army, right, and fuel militancy in the region, right? Then there are certain external factors, like, again, Pakistan, that exploits the geography of the region. So geography of the region is such that Pakistan uses cross-border infiltration mode to promote instability in the region, right, and to radicalize the Kashmiris, particularly the youth, and cause instability in the region. So there are economic factors, there are external factors, right, where we have a troubled neighborhood, right, and then there are social factors as well. So आप इनके बारे में बात करोगे. What are the causes of militancy in the region? Then you have to talk about what are the इसका मिलिटेंसी का इम्पैक्ट क्या रहा है. मिलिटेंसी का इम्पैक्ट ये रहेगा कि देयर वुड बी ऑलवेज गवर्नेंस issues in the region, right? So these things lead to what? These things lead to disruptions in the governance, right? And that leads to what? That leads to, so governance deficit होगा अगर, so in that case it would be easy to radicalize people against government, right? So ये एक major challenge है, governance deficit, because the government, day-to-day government, is diverted towards dealing with this issue, right? And then this also leads to, when there is a lot of conflict in the region, as you can see international examples like Israel issue or the Bangladesh issue, whenever there are such challenges, internal conflicts, people migrate from that region. So there is the issue of development deficit, and then displacement and migration of people. And Kashmir in particular has seen that the Kashmiri Pandits, they had to leave the region in 1990s because of the conflict in the region, right? There we have seen that the exodus of Kashmiri Pandits. So that was a major issue. Then the development activities, they are halted. Why? Because majority of the aspects related to governance is going into dealing with the security issues, right? So the developmental works, they get halted, right? Then when people, they don't get the benefits of development, they don't get economic benefits, they don't get employment opportunity, they don't get infrastructure, then what happens? It fuels discontent among the public, right? And leading to feeling of alienation among the public, right? So these are some of the challenges. Then it also impacts the security, because what happens in the region, there is installment of military in huge amount, right? And what happens, that the daily public life is impacted because of that. Because in order to ensure security, army has to, or troops have to do inspections, right? And several operations in the region. So jiski wajah se we see that it also causes discomfort to the people. Then there are attacks that happen on civilian population and also on the military troops. So that impacts security. And that is why the region demands that there should be more troops in the region, right? So these are some of the challenges in the region, right? So government will try to ensure what? Government will try to ensure that the security apparatus in the region is at place, is strong enough, right? So government will install more troops in the region, right? And equip them with latest technology and adequate infrastructure. So यहाँ पे जो major challenge है, that is the socio-economic causes and the security reason, right? So security reason है, so obviously you need to work upon your intelligence network. Right? So the military forces, they have to work upon their intelligence network. There should be real-time intelligence network should be present, right? Then what else? They have to adapt to the changing tactics that are being used by the terrorist groups. So army has to continuously evolve in the region. At the same time, they have to also ensure that locals are involved so that they can help in the intelligence network, right? And जो counter terrorism operation है, they are well coordinated, right? And properly executed in the region. So that is the strategy that is to be followed by the armed forces. Intelligence network, right? Real-time intelligence also involves locals in the process, so that they are not against the process. They feel that they are participating in the development of the region and the security of the region. We have to assimilate them, we have to make them feel secure, right? For that, they have to be involved in the process. And at the same time, we need a strong crackdown on the terrorist groups, right? We have to cut all of their financial ties, right, with the other groups, and we have to investigate their networks so that there can be a all-out crackdown on them, right? And then other initiatives that are taken by the government, you should know some of the schemes that are being launched by the government for the region, like Prime Minister Development Package, right, where around 55,000 crores money is being invested in different sectors. So you can talk about this. Then there are several schemes like Udan, right? So that provides skill training to the unemployed youth, right? So that उनकी employability बढ़ सके. उसके अलावा government is promoting infrastructure development, like कई सारे IITs, AIIMS that are being set up in the region, right? Then there are certain programs like Project Himayat, Ustad, Nai Manzil, Umeed. So these are some of the initiatives that are launched by the government to provide skill training, right, to the minority communities in the region. That is one thing, राइट. सो आप इन सारी चीज़ों के बारे में बात करो. हाउ गवर्नमेंट इज प्रमोटिंग टूरिज्म इन द रीजन, उसके बारे में बात करो. सो नो सम ऑफ द इनिशिएटिव्स टेकन बाय द गवर्नमेंट, राइट. सो अब इस आर्टिकल के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. सो दिस आर्टिकल इज सेइंग दैट Jammu and Kashmir task is not finished. So as a measure to boost security in the region, to reduce this feeling of alienation among the people, right, and to ensure that development is coming to the region, government abrogated Article 370. So यहाँ पर ये कह रहे हैं that you abrogated Article 370. That was necessary but not sufficient condition for ending terrorism. So we know that militancy and security, ensuring security in the region is a major issue, and Article 370 was abrogated so that we can bring development in the valley region. We can bring peace, prosperity and stability and security in the region, right. We could bring more employment opportunities, investment in the region, and citing these reasons, Article 370 was brought in to ensure security in the region, right. So this article says that Article 370 was a necessary step, but still lot many other things are required so that we can ensure that there is peace, stability and security in the region, and we actually end terrorism in the region, right. So this article says that Article 370, which was abrogated exactly 5 years ago today, the decline in the region in violence since validates why it had to go. So we have seen since the implementation of Article 370, abrogation of Article 370, violence has reduced in the region. So this signifies the importance of abrogating Article 370, right. But then the article also talks about that what are the 5 interconnected causes that actually create terrorism in the valley. One is the troubled neighborhood, and our neighborhood is what? Troubled Pakistan, राइट. सो पाकिस्तान में अभी तक किसी प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने अपना पूरा टेन्योर पूरा नहीं किया है, राइट. नॉट कंप्लीटेड अ फुल टर्म बिकॉज इट हैज़ बिकम अ मिलिट्री स्टेट, राइट, वेयर देर इज सुपरमेसी ऑफ द स्टेट, right, where there is a supremacy of state, right, and the military is taking control of the political affairs, right, and the military is trying to promote self interest, disguising it as a national interest. So that is one of the major reason where that has led to the instability in the Pakistan, right. That has led to destroying its own economy, right, and then they are in the state of waging war, and military's incompetence has been seen time and again. Pakistan's military incompetence, where it has lost every war that it has fought, and that has also led to destroying its economy, because war that needs a lot of money, right, and the money which could be used for the developmental purposes, but you choose to hamper your economy by fighting such futile wars, right. Then there is that Cold War geopolitics. So Kashmir became a pawn in Cold War chess games, right, with 13 UN resolutions supporting Pakistan in the decade after our mistaken 1948 reference. So India, we know at that time India had our own Panchsheel policy. India had our own non-alignment movement, where India decided to not take side with any of the power blocks, whereas Pakistan chose the other way, right. Pakistan chose the other way, and Pakistan embraced America, right, and it had joined the Baghdad Pact, right, in 1955, and the U-2 spy aircraft shot down by Russia. This U-2 spy aircraft of America, it was shot down by Russia. It took off from Rawalpindi in 1960, right, and apparently it is also said that Henry Kissinger, he used a Pakistani Air Force plane for the secret meeting for US rapprochement with China that was arranged by Yahya Khan in 1971, right. And then what happened? America actually supported such kind of terror groups in the region with money and with arms, right, so that they can fight such proxy wars in Afghanistan. But then they left the region and the power in the wrong hands. So that led to what? That led to increased instability in the region, and the brunt of which is faced by India, right. So post Cold War, such kind of infiltration, militancy, it has increased in India, because you have given weapons in the wrong hand, you have trained the wrong people. So India had to, or Kashmir had to, bear the brunt of that also. Then radical Islamist policies that are being followed by Pakistan, right, where they say that Pakistan's claim on Kashmir are religiously rooted in the eternal conflict between Dar-ul-Islam, House of Islam, and Dar-ul-Harb, House of Infidels. So that is what they believe in. Whereas अगर हम कश्मीर की बात करें, so Kashmir has been ruled by several dynasties with mix of religion. Like there were Rishi worship, we have seen Buddhism, Shaivism in the region, and then we have also seen Sufism in the region, right? But still Pakistan makes such false claims, right? We have seen that it had more of a secular setup in the valley, right, where you could also see Sufi saints like Lal Ded, Nurani, right, who were there in the region, and there was peace. But then now this idea is being promoted. So that is also one of the reason of terrorism in the region. Then this term you can use, fraud federalism for Kashmir, right? So what happens is that for other states, the involvement of center, the involvement of Prime Minister in their politics is not that much. But considering the geography of Kashmir, considering the political and historical history or legacy of Kashmir, we have seen that all the Indian Prime Minister has constant political and administrative presence in Jammu and Kashmir, right? So that also fuels what? Discontent, right? And there are tussle between the central and state government. So that is also one challenge. Then the separatist politics in the region. So यहाँ पर Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, before he died, he said that to Sheikh Abdullah that there cannot be a republic within a republic, right? And India has been torn in two states, right, by the two nation theory. But by giving Article 370 to Kashmir, we are sort of creating three nation. It is a sort of developing three nation theory, and this would not be good for your state or India. So the article is saying that he was right. Article 370, it made soft separatism a profitable local political strategy, and it actually led to what? It actually led to delays in development. It actually led to obstructions for development and compromised on several fronts, right? The security apparatus in the region was challenged and the militancy in the region increased. So this separatist politics had to go, and for which the Article 370 was abrogated with the right intention, and it is also showing its fruits. And then the Pakistan's two installment strategy for Kashmir, right, where they want what? They want that first we want Kashmir to be independent, and then we will annex it, right? So this has also failed, and this strategy was financed by over-invoicing America for their 1980s proxy war in Afghanistan. So during Cold War, Pakistan was used by America. They actually trained the Mujahideen in the region, gave them arms, money, etc., and then they left, right? So Americans, they believed that they would be immune to such radical Islam. But then what happened? We have seen the 9/11 attack. So terrorism has no religion and knows no boundaries. This was proven then, right? So these are some of the reasons which have actually caused terrorism, led to terrorism in the region, and we have already discussed the factors that have caused militancy in the region. There are historical factors, political factors, economic factors, right, social factors. So आप उनके बारे में बात करेंगे, and then you add these points also in your answer as causes of militancy in the region, and then what are the steps taken by the government, and how we have to improve the security apparatus in the region. Because there are reports that around in 2022, Jammu Kashmir reported 253 militancy related deaths. 253 militancy related deaths, right, which had caused death of 30 security personnel also. And in 2023, the security forces death reported by the security forces has more than doubled, right? So this is one thing, the security challenges there, so we need to work upon that on a very serious lines, right? And the second article was also there in the newspaper, which is showing that these are some of the challenges in the region जिस पे आप काम कर सकते हैं, right? One is that the rate of public investment as percentage of GSDP has declined sharply to 6.4% in 2022-23 from 9.7% in 2017 to 18. So we need to focus upon public investment to create opportunities in the region and to ensure that the socio-economic apparatus in the region is well developed, right? So, and then it is also talking about that fiscal management in the region has not improved. So after getting legislative approval to borrow 4,000 crore last year, the UT government has borrowed more than 13,000 crores. So here also you need to ensure that there is prudent fiscal management in the region, right? And it is also talking about the unemployment rate in the region is 18.3% compared to 8% nationally at the end of February as per CMIE. So again, unemployment, we have seen it is a major challenge, right, which led to radicalization of youth in the region. So these are some of the facts that you can use to show that what are the challenges that are still there in the region and what and then you can suggest improvement on these lines, right? So this was it for this article. Then there was one more article, Doctor's Aid, and this was recently in news on 1st August also. So 1st August को भी ये न्यूज़पेपर में आया था ये आर्टिकल, एम्स सॉफ्टवेयर टू टेक डायबिटीज़ केयर to public health centers, right? So यहाँ पर this is a new software being developed by AIIMS, right, that can extend specialist care for diabetics in underserved areas, right? So what the article is saying that we can integrate the software which is being developed into the patient portal that will significantly impact the national program, right? So the article is saying that we can use this software to take diabetes care to primary health center, right? And this is also showing you one of the challenge, and the challenge is what? That 50% of people are not aware of their disease in India, right? And 50% of them do not take treatment, and those who take treatment, they in midway stop medicine, right? Because जब वो क्लिनिक जाते हैं तो उनका डॉक्टर्स के पास टाइम वेस्ट हो जाता है, वेयर डॉक्टर ट्राइज टू नो अबाउट पेशेंट हिस्ट्री, तो उसमें टाइम जाता है, देन ही सजेस्ट सम मोर टेस्ट. So sometimes patients do not get the right advice in some parts of the country, right? So to take that care to people in underserved area, this software can actually help, right? So what will happen? How does this software work? This is actually a compilation of 2000 to 2500 पेशेंट सिनेरियोज, राइट? उनके क्या सिम्टम्स हैं, क्या ट्रीटमेंट ऑप्शंस हैं, उनको कंपाइल करके एक एडवाइजरी तैयार करी गई है. सो बेसिकली इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन एम्पेरिकल एविडेंसेस एंड मैथमेटिकल सिनेरियो, राइट? सो इट इज़ एविडेंस बेस्ड गाइडेंस, राइट? बट यहाँ पर दिस सॉफ्टवेयर एक्चुअली कैन नॉट आपको रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता डॉक्टर को. इट कैन ओनली कॉम्प्लीमेंट द process, but it will not replace the medical professionals. Why? Because ये जो आपका सॉफ्टवेयर है दैट कैन ओनली टेल कि अगर आपकी शुगर, आप कोई ट्रीटमेंट ले रहे हो और आपका शुगर लेवल अभी भी सेम है या बढ़ गया या घट गया, तो ये आपको बता सकता है कि डोजेज आप बढ़ा दो या कुछ डोज कम कर दो. बट अगर आपके कुछ इमोशनल या मेंटल स्ट्रेस की वजह से देर आर चेंजेस इन योर बॉडी, सो दैट कैन नॉट बी दैट दिस सॉफ्टवेयर कैन नॉट टेल, राइट? सो फॉर दैट आपको डॉक्टर की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी टू मॉडिफाई योर ट्रीटमेंट, राइट? सो दैट इज़ दैट दिस सॉफ्टवेयर कैन एक्चुअली complement the present medical health system, can help ease the burden, right, and can actually take the health system to underserved areas as well, because this software would only need a computer a person, a computer operator who has proficiency, who can upload data on the software, right? So that is the only human component, otherwise this can work well. So that is what this article is saying, that in this basically if you incorporate a person's health stack, आपको किसी पेशेंट के पूरी हिस्ट्री अगर इफ़ यू गेट टू नो एंड यू आर इंटीग्रेटिंग इट विद द पोर्टल विद द सॉफ्टवेयर, सो दैट विल ईज द प्रोसेस, right? So this is what it is saying. During the COVID we have seen that there was diversion of doctors, right? So the non-communicable diseases, they could not get that attention, like diabetes patient, they constantly need that doctor attention. So during COVID we have seen that emergency was to deal with COVID patient, so that had led to neglect of at that time when you have resource crunch. So to deal with such issues, they have come up with this kind of software, right? So this will help your national digital health mission, right? So if you know about national digital health mission, they talk about health, developing health profile of patients. So such kind of technological development can help ease the public health burden and improve the public health scenarios in the country, right? So इस तरीके के एग्जाम्पल्स आप अपने आंसर में लिख सकते हो in your GS paper 2, that health section. Use such kind of examples in your answers. So this was it for this lecture. Thank you.